Welcome to this Windows channel, and this is part 2 of the quick look and review of the Fall Creators Update. This is build 16215, latest build of Windows 10 that was shipped to us yesterday, June 8th, and lots of new little features in here, improvements. So what do we have as features? So first of all, the Fluent design is getting more and more apparent. It's here now in the start menu in the action center. So if you look at the start menu, you should see the Fluent design. I'm just gonna open up here a page on Edge so you can see that the transparency is there. So you can see that the scrolling of the page in behind my start menu. Same thing for the action center that also has transparency enabled. So all of that is of course giving us some new little Fluent design looks. So of course this is using what we call acrylic, which is one part of Fluent design. So this is the acrylic design coming to Windows 10 really. Also, they've improved the way that you can now hold on and resize the start menu. What happened with the start menu is often it was kind of choppy when you would go into the start menu thing. Now it has better and easier to use interactions when you try to make it bigger or smaller. It is improved. It was kind of choppy before, so this is really a much smoother transition. Also, people that are using tablet mode, smoother transition in tablet mode from the desktop mode. So some little improvements here that are making things a little better. New look for the Action Center. So the Action Center now has this new look. You can actually scroll and it has a different feel. It is kind of improved. They've improved also the notifications and reminders that it shows up. So you have much more control and interest in what's happening here with the different options. So that has an improvement, and also more interactions with the notifications that you can have, of course, here. So you can go to settings to do something, you can change everything. There was not a lot of notification information and settings before, so this really improved in the way that it's done. Microsoft Edge, you can now pin websites to your taskbar, something that a lot of people wanted to do. So this is really cool. So right now, the only thing that was happening is that you could not pin, and a lot of people like the aspect of pinning a website to your taskbar. So basically now you can do it. Pin sites are back. You can actually, I believe you can. Let me just try it with the no, this one doesn't work like that, but you can of course go into your settings here, and you can pin this page to the taskbar. Boop. And here Paul Thurrott's web page is right there on my taskbar here. So you have pin websites in the taskbar, which is something that a lot of people wanted. Also something really cool, F11 now puts you in full screen mode. Here we go, F11 is pressed and we are in full screen. This was missing a lot of people. I had put a shortcut to how to do it, but it obviously was not perfect, and it was really something that was missing. So F11 now effective as a full screen. Also, you have annotations and books in the Microsoft Edge. So if you have EPUB books that you download and read, you can bring out annotations and actually annotate in different colors. So like would do on a real page if you wanted. So that's pretty cool. There's also add a note button that is now enabled in the EPUBs when you read a book in Microsoft Edge. PDF improvements also added more highlight colors and PDF improvements, options to ask Cortana in PDFs in Microsoft Edge also. Other improvements in Edge includes Microsoft Edge splash page. Now you have it the first time that you look at Microsoft Edge, of course, and notice that the loading screen is gray. Before it was blue when you loaded Edge. Now it's kind of gray. So I don't know if it's going to stay like that, but that's different. So there's a splash screen when you use it for the first time, telling you all the tips and informations. You'll be able to close Microsoft Edge directly using the close button, even when a JavaScript dialog is showing. So if a page pulls up a JavaScript before, you couldn't close it until you stop the JavaScript dialog. Now you can actually close Edge even though there's a dialog there. Also, they added an options to add tabs to favorites from the right-click context menu on tabs. So when you have a tab open, you now have this option in the context menu, and of course there's the pin option here. So you can really do a lot more stuff in here. So of course, you know, reopen tab and all the move to a new window. Add tabs to favorite. There's, you know, they're improving upon the menus here. Animation is also more smooth in the tab bar when you open and close, which was something that people were complaining sometimes about, that, you know, there was like some weird look when that would be happening. In Cortana, reminders are now to a next level through what's called Vision Intelligence. So basically, you know, this is, most of us have experienced taking a picture of upcoming event poster and bookmarking, or even a site for future reference. Then you forget about it. Well, starting with this build, 2 new features starting with English US Market is to never miss an event. So if you open a page that has an event on the date, Cortana can actually, when you get closer to that event, say, hey, you know that you've looked at a page that has that event in the past. You're sure that you don't want me to, you know, open it again, or, you know, I should let you know that it's there. Also, Cortana now has camera roll insights. So with your permission, Cortana will now prompt you to create a reminder when she notices even posters in your camera roll. So for example, you have a camera roll, you have a picture shows, hey, July 16th at 8 p.m. is that thing. Well, Cortana, if you enable permission with the photo app, will actually be able to read that and say, hey, you know, there's something happening on July 16th. So, you know, they can actually remind you, so she can keep track of this. She's going to pop up and say, hey, you want me to keep track of, let me, you know, keep track of this. And of course, you know, that's pretty interesting. If you're a pen user, there's lots of new stuff for pen users, including what they call the lasso. So you can now keep track of future events on your screen with that new feature in pen. Handwriting in Windows Ink. Now there's a new experience where actually she can convert, with the help of Cortana and also the reading, if you use Windows Ink to write on your screen and stuff, in some occasions, of course, it will let you, you know, write stuff and actually will bring it in full text. Now here I don't have the right stuff to actually do this, but if you write with your pen, for example, she will convert that. You can also have her, you know, kind of put in clearer text what's happening. More correction within the handwriting panel by overriding converted text. So if you have a pen, once again, you wrote something, but you wrote the wrong letter, you know, instead of, they have an example on the screen there that's, you wrote clocking, you wrote blocking and it's clocking that you want, she'll correct it, and the computer is going to. There's more corrections, there's more ink gestures, so this is really something for a lot of people that are wondering. If you use the on-screen keyboard, lots of new things, including the suggestions. Some of you will also see a little microphone icon. When that is enabled on the keyboard, you can actually enable text commands and say, hey, I want to do a backspace, I want to do this, I want to do that, and the computer will actually obey to that. Also, improvement scrolling with pens, lots of pen things, by the way. Also entering emojis will be easier with the keyboards, and so that's the on-screen keyboards and everything. Touch keyboard with enhanced text prediction, like I just shown you here. There's it's going to tell you, well, okay, we're going to give you that suggestion, but it doesn't, once again, it's not, I don't have the full experience here. It's not everybody that has it. Some of you do, some of you don't. It depends on your settings and what type of keyboard you have. Also on a touchscreen keyboard, there's a lot of stuff happening. So if you, say for example, we go here to the tablet mode. Of course, one of the things of the tablet mode is you'll want to have the on-screen keyboard. So here in the on-screen keyboard that pops up. So you see the microphone here, like I was telling you, there are more options now with the microphone. So for example, I can type something, it's going to suggest me something when I start typing with the keyboard. And the microphone I can actually use for commands of all sorts. So if you are a tablet user or a touchscreen user, these are all options coming up and working. There's of course all sorts of gesture keyboard, so new touch keyboard settings menu also. So lots of things. Of course, like I said, dictation, lots of commands of dictation. Press backspace, clear selection, press delete, delete that, and so on, that you have voice commands over. Also, the shared experience, the with once again the people experience. You can now easily copy links to share with people. You can easily, of course, share pretty much everything from the different apps, depending on what you want to do. So these are all things coming up. New local media folder detection and universal Windows platform apps. Photos, Groove Music, and movies and TV now have one thing in common: exploring your local content based on the folders you provide. So they were always looking at the regular folders, documents, the ones that usually are by default. So documents and downloads and so on. And what happened is that because of that, there was some problems with the fact that if you had your pictures or you had something in a different folder, they couldn't see it necessarily and they couldn't really scan it. Now it can scan everywhere, so it's gonna actually prompt you, oh, I've found pictures on this folder. And of course, with the Photos app, you can add folders, or you can say don't ask again, so that they don't take those pictures and put it in there. So lots of little interesting things. The people improvements, more reliability with People app, updated the logic so that if you have the My People flyout open, you can now drop a file into the contact pinned in the overflow. Before it was directly, you had to take the file and drop it on the pinned contact there, but now you can also take it and move it right here directly on the contact. So lots of new little things there. What else? Nightlight improvements. A lot of people were complaining Nightlight had an issue. Sometimes after sleep it wouldn't work. So Nightlight was something that was not working perfectly. They have apparently fixed the Nightlight stuff in here. So if you do have Nightlight enabled, you will have a more reliable thing. Also, there was an issue where if you had a second screen plugged in, it wouldn't work well. Okay, now you can go to settings. In settings, you can go to personalization, and then there's something called video playback. So these are new options for video playback. That was not there before. So basically, you'll find some additional controls for the media enthusiast. If you have an HDR monitor, they want to hear your feedback, how video streaming feels, and when these new options are enabled or not. So there's all sorts of new options like processing video to enhance it, stream HDR videos, allow video to play at a lower resolution. So all sorts of little things. When watching movies, you have options when you're on battery power. So all sorts of little things here that are interesting and new in here for sure. So new HDR advanced stuff that you can do. Also, In the past, when you were using settings, you had to start with your file type or protocol if you wanted to make a change to the default app. That's changing with this build. You can now start with your app and then see the available options. So if you start with your app, it's going to tell you, oh, okay, what's the, you're using this instead of that. Would you like me to change the default stuff? Updated network connection properties page also. So in the network connection properties page, there are some new settings there. So they've kind of made this new change here. And when you go here, actually, what happened is in the settings page and the properties, you would be shown, the type of connection you have. And one of the things that this page will make easier now, you can actually toggle make this PC discoverable. It's kind of easier to do within this panel, basically. So all sorts of new little things here, network profile and everything. So they're slowly working on these settings, basically. Understanding your updates. There's now will now list out the individual update status in progress and settings. So if there are multiple updates pending, for example, a new build, a driver update, and definition update for Windows Defender, you can see and track each different status. Before, everything was managed together and it was kind of annoying. You would go to the update, you'll check for updates, and then you would have, of course, say if you have a build and a Defender update, they were kind of jammed together and you didn't know the status of each one. Now each update has its status, meaning if it's working on one update in particular, you'll see that status and you'll see the other ones not doing anything, or you'll see both of them and you'll see each status of each update. I think this is a wise and very nice decision for that. Other improvements in the settings, you can now add. So here, look at this status of the install here of definition update. So every update will have its own status. This is pretty cool. You can now add works cool users from settings. They've heard the feedback. They adjusted the order of the setting categories so that the new Cortana category is now more central, and the Windows Update category is now once again the final one on the list. So if you look at it here, Update and Security is here, Cortana's here. They've moved things around a little bit here to make it a little better. Gaming improvements of all sorts also based on the Windows Game Bar. So you can take screenshots of Xbox Live stuff. There's a lot of things in the games. Developers will have also all sorts of different little apps and things. Before you had to enable developer mode to get the Windows subsystem for Linux. Not anymore. You can now actually run Bash and Linux tools on Windows, even if you're not enabling developer mode. Hyper-V gets virtual battery support, all sorts of little things. Ease of access. Ease of access. Scan mode on by default. The latest change that you'll experience is that scan mode is now on by default. That means up and down arrows to get through everything, space to interact, edit box switching, turn off scan mode with caps plus space. Remembering the state of the scan mode by applications, it remembers if it was reading or doing something for your accessibility but different from one app to the other, it remembers that. Left and right arrow to move by character. Lots of little improvements like this, and new hotkeys also available there. Braille improvements for people using Braille keyboards with tons of shortcuts also now available. Introducing color filters, the system level. So basically settings, ease of access, color and high contrast. So if we go here and settings and we go to ease of access and we go to color and high contrast settings, previously called high contrast settings, you will have the possibility to basically not only choose what you had to choose before, but you will have filters available, grayscale, invert, grayscale inverted, and so on. So you know, depending on the problems you have, it might improve your visibility of the UI, and updated the magnifier, zoom in and out buttons also for more modern style. So apart from that, some improvements for Japanese, Chinese, and all sorts of little things, and that's pretty much a very fast but complete look at what's new. And if you want to have more in detail things about new features in here, look at the Windows Insider channel. I will be checking out and showing in more detail a lot of these features in the next few days. So check it out if you want to see on the Windows Insider page. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.